Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a bit about my last week in games, and all I really have for you guys for this week is a little bit of EVE Online. It's been pretty damn busy in real life for me, especially at work, and with me having to go back to the office a little bit more often. All I managed to do was play EVE Online a little bit every day. It was a week for the skilling spree, so all we really had to do was get out there, find a couple of anomalies, and then we get some extra skill points on top of that. I also of course did my PI every day, which is on now in Iona itself, so where I'm usually flying most of the time, and it's going pretty well. A couple of planets are quite slow, so I've spread out the stuff that I'm making, but it's all going pretty well. And in fact I did my first emptying of the planets because a couple of them were pretty much full, and I'm for now still hoarding it, although looking at EVE Talk and PI prizes I should probably organize a trip next week to bring it all to Jeddah and to sell it, because prices for PI are pretty damn good at the moment. I also kept up with my blueprint copy business, and that's been very good news. All of my contracts for the 2 weeks prior were gone, so I was at 0 done. I set up all 10 of them, which was the new PPCs that I've made, and they are selling like hotcakes at really high prices, especially the Dreadnought BPCs, a single run BPC going for 30 million, so I sell just below that and just picked off right away. Freighters also really good, except that it's not uniform, so it's especially a couple of freighters that are like in the 20s, 20 plus million for a single BPC, and then a few others are in like the normal 10 to 15 million range, but they're also selling pretty quickly. And then the one disappointing BPC is still the Orca, of course. I think that it's basically not really that good for active mining. It's become a real command ship, so you don't need much more than one on the field for the compression, and so as a result there's not that much demand for Orcas at the moment, and those BPCs are not doing very well. I think my next stage I'm probably going to risk a couple of structure blueprints to be moved from Amar space to Galente space and see what prices are doing, and trying to sell some more of those. But yeah, the BPCs have been very interesting and very lucrative, and so that's basically some low effort EVE maintenance that's actually yielding some really nice returns with the blueprint copies and with PI at the moment. And then of course, keeping up with the skilling spree, I got a nice batch of extra skill points just in case of us needing some for the new ships that are coming, because that's of course news that dropped last week as well. CCP deployed some stuff on the test server, including new battle cruisers, so faction battle cruisers, and actually faction exploration frigates are the new ships that we're getting, not the destroyers. That was of course rumor based on some old CCP announcement that was something they were actually working on. I personally do love the battle cruiser class, although it's always outclassed by battleships. They're just bigger, more weapons, more slots, so I don't fly them all that often. But we'll definitely try to take a look at those once I have a little bit of time. And I think the exploration frigates are potentially very interesting as well, as I can see those as a route towards a non-combat way to help out in the faction warfare efforts once we get the allegiance system. And I'm sort of hoping that you can do that stuff without necessarily losing all the reputation for the other empires. But of course, that's what we're all eagerly awaiting, the details on the expansion and the allegiance system. What is CCP planning to do for EVE Online next? And I'm just keeping an eye on all of that, playing EVE Online just to stay in touch with the game. But honestly, that's all I managed to do last week. I tried to play a little bit more Path of Exile as well, just didn't have the energy and the motivation after 6-7 characters into maps is starting to wane at this point, and I'm sort of looking for what else I can do between now and then November, when the expansion for EVE Online is going to hit. But overall, it's definitely helping me to relax. EVE Online is definitely, at the moment, the way I'm playing it, a game that's helping me just to unwind a little bit after busy days at work. That was my last week in games, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.